Hey everybody, Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we're taking a closer look at and installing the LED bar projector headlights available for all 2015 through 2017 Mustangs, along with the 2018 through 2022 Shelbys. Now, you should be checking out these LED options for your S550 if you're looking to go in a completely different direction from the factory headlights and would like to add some unique accent lighting to help change up that front end appearance. Talking features here with the LED bar projectors, and I think the biggest feature will be the fact that you're getting a very unique appearance when compared to the stock headlights. Now, gone are the tri-bar gills. They're going to be replaced by two separate LED bars that run across the top and of course the bottom, and I think they're accented by this little angular portion up top here. Now, these will serve as your daytime running lights. Are going to illuminate whenever your car is turned on and will remain on when the headlight projectors are fired up. Now, I can't really stress how distinct these really look when they're in action, guys, especially during the nighttime. Certainly something that I feel will help separate these from some of your other options in the category. Now, getting into the construction, and you're gonna find that combination of the matte black housing here at work with the crystal clear polycarbonate lens, impact resistant of course, guys. And that combination of the black housing with the clear lens still gonna deliver a dark, sinister look with everything turned off, and even more sinister, I feel, with those DRLs fired up. Now, the clear lens also does allow for that DOT and SAE stamp of approval, and that's gonna make these lights legal for use in all 50 states. Now, the LED bar options here will reuse your factory D3S bulbs and ballast, so you will need to transfer those over to the new headlights. We're gonna show you that during our install portion coming up in a bit. Now, finally, guys, the lenses are fully sealed up nice and tight to prevent any moisture or condensation from building up over time. Hey, price point for the LED bar options is gonna live right in that mid $700 range, which, believe it or not, actually makes these one of the more affordable headlight options for your S550, with options such as Raxium or Morimoto or even Alpharex stuff. They're all gonna come in at a good bit more money at the end of the day compared to these options here. But switching gears, let's get into the install. And according to the site, guys, you're looking at a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, about a couple of hours to get in place from start to finish. Now, that's just simply there because, yes, the front bumper will need to come off in order to remove your factory headlights and then get the new LED bar options in place. But to give you a better idea of just how this all will go down at home, feel free to check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you will need an impact, 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter if necessary, a T20 Torx bit, 7, 8, 10, and 13 millimeter sockets, a clip removal tool, a Phillips head screwdriver. Also not shown here would be a jack and jack stands to reach the underside of the vehicle. What's up, guys? Today we're going to be installing some headlights on our Mustang, but before we do that, we're going to send you to watch a short video on how to uninstall your factory lights, and we'll see you when you get back.
So for this install, we're gonna have to get the car up in the air a little bit, and we're gonna have to remove the front bumper. It's a pretty simple process. I'm gonna walk you through it. So let's get started. I'm gonna start by using my clip tool to remove the clips that hold the upper rad cover on, and I'll just pull these out and pull the rad cover off. So with my rad cover out of the way, I can take my 8mm socket and remove the 6 8mm screws along the top of the bumper, but don't forget the 7mm screws hiding underneath the weather strip here, and I'm just gonna use a 7mm socket to get those out. Now I need to pull back my inner fender liner here up against the front bumper. There are 4 clips here on the inside of the wheel well. One of ours is missing, but just imagine that it's there. And there's 2 at the bottom that I'll have to remove. And then I can pull my wheel well liner back far enough to gain access to the bolt that is behind the liner on the corner of the front bumper. I'm just gonna use my clip tool once again to pull the clips out, and then I can pull the liner back. So back here at the corner of this bumper, there is a plastic bracket that mounts the fender to the bumper, and there's a 7mm screw that goes through the two and attaches the bumper into the fender. And what you're gonna have to do is take a 7mm socket on your ratchet to remove it. Now, our bumper has been off so many times that hardware is missing, but all you need is a 7mm socket and ratchet, and it'll come right out. Now I'm just gonna repeat this exact same process on the other side of the vehicle, and once again, remove the 7mm screw here at the corner of the bumper. Now you can pull your fender liner back once again and remove the 7mm screw right here. With our fender liners pulled back and the corner of our bumper unbolted, now we can unhook our fog lights and turn signals, as these are going to be coming off with the bumper when we remove it from the car. So I'm just gonna unplug my connectors and pull them off the back of the lights. And then I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. So next, I'm going to use a combination of a clip removal tool and a 7mm socket on my impact to remove the 4 screws and 2 clips on the bottom of the belly pan, but I'm going to leave it attached to the front bumper so everything comes off in one piece. All right, let's go with the screws first. So now you're going to want to very carefully pop the corners of the front bumper out. Make sure not to damage these tabs, as you will need them to reinstall the bumper. And with both of the corners popped off now, we can remove the front bumper. So now that I have my bumper pulled off, I have access to all the hardware for the headlight. I'm going to use a 10mm socket for the top and bottom 10mm screws and a 13mm socket for the outer screw. So now I can remove my headlight and unplug the connector.
Alrighty guys, welcome back. Now that we've shown you how to remove your factory lights from your vehicle, there's a couple things we're gonna need to do in order to get our new assembly ready to go onto the vehicle. So we're gonna come to the back side of our factory lights here, and we have this cover for our bulbs as well as our HID box that we're gonna need to remove and swap some stuff over to our new assembly. So we're gonna go ahead and start at our bulb here. So we're gonna remove this cover simply by giving it a turn counterclockwise. Now these tend to be pretty tight. If you go ahead and turn them until they stop, they should just pop right out. Now our bulb here is kind of worse for wear. It's been taken out, put in a lot, so it's a little worn out, but yours should be more straight in like this. And what you're gonna do is go ahead and pull that bulb out. Now be careful not to damage the glass in your bulb. Then you should have a retainer here as well. You may need to pop that back on yours to go ahead and allow it to come out. And we're also going to remove this retainer ring as well. So we're going to grab a Phillips head screwdriver and get that screw out. Our top one is unfortunately broken, but yours should have 2 from the factory. So we've got our Phillips head screwdriver. We're going to remove our 1 screw here. Again, yours should have 1 on the top and the bottom. We'll get this lined up here. Go ahead and remove the screw. Be careful not to drop it in the assembly. Although if you do, you can probably shake it out, but save yourself some trouble. And put your fingers on it as you remove it. And out comes your retainer ring and screw. Then next we're going to unplug our bulb from our harness. So we have this clip here. I'm going to go ahead and take that off first. And that simply just pops out around the side like that. Now if you notice, this clip you can just pull. And once that clip is off, you can just pull your connector out like so. And be very, very careful. Notice we're not wearing gloves, but if you feel like you're gonna touch the glass, you definitely wanna wear gloves because any oils on your skin will create hot spots and cause premature failure of your light bulb. So we'll go ahead and set that safely aside. Then after we have that out, we're gonna go ahead and remove our HID box, and that is 4 T20 Torx screws. So we're gonna grab our T20 Torx bit on our impact and lightly run these out. So now we've got our new headlight assembly, and we're gonna start by removing our headlight cover here. And this one just simply pops right off. Now once we have that out, we can go ahead and get our box onto our new assembly. Now if you are doing this on a table at home and you wanna work from over top, it might be a good idea to put a towel down or something that's not gonna scratch your lenses on your new headlight. But if you have a good clean surface, you try not to move it around too much, should be okay. So now we're gonna grab our box, grab our connector that goes onto that in our new assembly. We'll plug that in. Make sure that snaps into place. Then we're gonna take our bulb harness here. And we're gonna feed that through to our opening. So we can access it and plug our bulb back in. And we're gonna set our HID box down onto its mounting points. And we're gonna reuse our factory hardware to go ahead and mount that in place. Now, this is a little bit tight, so you may just need to go ahead and grab your T20 Torx bit on your impact again. And remember, lightly run these in. Again, you are screwing into plastic, so there's no need for a whole lot of torque and force. Just let the screw do its job. Just nice and snug like so. So now that we've got our box in and screwed down and our plug is accessible for our bulb, we're gonna remove the locking ring that comes with our new headlight simply by pushing in the tab here and turning that counterclockwise, and that will pull out. Now, depending on the model of headlight, you may need to reuse your factory locking ring. On this one, we have an updated one, so we will not use that. So now that we have that out, we'll go ahead and separate our locking ring like so. Then we can go ahead and set our bulb into it. Clip that back into place. We need to work it a little bit to get it in. And lock that down. So now that we have our lock ring in place, we'll go ahead and plug our connector in, simply because it's a lot easier to do that before we put our bulb back in. So we'll go ahead and get our ring back on our connector here. So how I like to do it is just come in from the side here and just work it back around, snap it back into place. Then we can go ahead and set our bulb in. You may have to work it a little bit. Just be careful not to hit the glass on the metal part of your bulb housing. We'll go ahead and set this in. Give it a quarter turn clockwise to lock it into position. And once we have that done, we'll go ahead and reinstall our light cover. Now once you've got this finished for this headlight, you can go ahead and repeat these same steps for your other headlight. So now that we've got everything set up for our headlights, we can go ahead and begin installing it on our vehicle. So first things first, we're gonna grab our factory connector, plug that right into the factory style connector on our new assembly. Go ahead and lock that in place. And we can go ahead and set it into its location. Now we have these locator pins at the top and on the side here. So we'll get them in place, and we can go ahead and install our factory hardware back into place, tighten everything down. So first we'll get our two 10mm bolts back into place here. One up top, one down bottom. Now that I've got those started, I'll go ahead and get my 13mm bolt into the side. Now I've got that sorted, we can go ahead and grab our 13mm socket on our impact and run this in. Then we'll go ahead and grab our 10mm socket and run these two front ones back in. So now once you've got this headlight all in place, you can go ahead and repeat the same process for the other one, and we'll go ahead and get our bumper back on. So now that we have both of our headlights in, it's time to go ahead and reinstall our front bumper. So we'll grab our bumper, and the first thing we're going to do is realign our top section here with the set point dowels, just like so. And getting these in place, it's just going to hold the top of our bumper on until we get the rest of it bolted down. Then we'll come back and put all of our screws in. So now we'll go ahead and get our end of our bumper here set back into its slotted positions. Line it up with the fender. Go ahead and get this lined up here. Now remember, yours will have the screw that locks in your bumper to your fender. Again, ours is no longer with us due to previous installs and a lot of work being done. But once you have that done, you can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Then we'll go ahead and plug all of our lights back in. Now we'll go ahead and reach back to the inside of our bumper, get all of our bumper lights plugged in, turn signals, marker lights, and our fog lights as well. And we'll go ahead and get our fender liner back into place. So we'll go ahead and grab our factory push pins and get those back into place. Let's get that one in. So this one up here. One for our fender liner to our splash guard. Get our fender liner to our chassis here. And then the one underneath as well. Now you can go ahead and do the same thing for your other fender liner, and then we'll get the bottom of our splash guard buttoned up, and then we'll come back to the top. So now we'll go ahead and get our two push pins and our 7mm screws back into place for our splash guard. We'll start with our push pins here. One for that side, one for this side. We'll grab our 7mm socket on our impact. Run all of our 7mm screws back in. We've got these two up front here. And our ones across the back of the splash guard. Now we can go ahead and lower the car down and get the top of our front of our bumper secured, and we'll be good to go. So now we can go ahead and reinstall our 8mm screws, as well as the two what are supposed to be 7mm screws on the outside. Ours are Phillips head. Yours from factory will be 7mm. So we'll grab our 8mm socket, run our 8 mils back in here across the front. And remember, you're drilling into plastic here. You're screwing these into a plastic setting. So there's no need for excess torque or anything like that. Nice and snug will do the job. So again, these should be 7 mils from the factory. Ours are Phillips heads as replacement. So once you have your 8 mils in, you can go ahead and reinstall these. Flip this weather stripping up. Go ahead and secure this one. And then do the same thing for the one on the other side. So now we can go ahead and get our upper radiator cover back into place. So we'll line this back up, make sure it's seated, all our holes line up. And we'll reinstall all of our push pins. Sometimes the ends tend to flare out on these, so you kind of squeeze them back together. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our LED bar projector headlights and matte black housings and clear lenses for your 15 to 17 Mustang, 18 to 22 Mustang GT350 and GT500. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.